Earlier today, I found myself smiling for no reason. I was sitting on the porch drinking tea, and I don't think it was a singular thing that made me happy. It was a symphony of various sights and sounds that stilled my mind and stirred my soul. The flower garden was in full bloom. The animals were happy, safe, and well fed. The birds were singing and frolicking around the bird feeder. At least they frolicked when the squirrels didn't chase them away. This combination of things led to peacefulness and happiness within me, which is important because I wasn't feeling very peaceful or very happy at the start of the day. I've been working to find a tradesman to help with some work I need done around the house, namely some painting on the exterior of the home and of my garage. Unfortunately, I've found that this is exactly the wrong time of year to get that type of work done. Where I live, we have all 4 seasons, meaning that in the fall, it'll be very rainy and cold, and in the winter, we'll have snow. So there's a very small window if I still want to get the work done this year. In addition to that, many tradesmen are very busy this time of year. Their calendars are all booked up. So I've had individuals tell me they're too busy to do the job. I've had individuals tell me that I can just send them some pictures and they'll let me know what they think. I had one gentleman come out to the property, walk around, give me a quote. I accepted the quote, and then he called to say that unfortunately he could no longer do the work. I assume because he got a bigger, better paying job than the one I had scheduled. Needless to say, there's a lot of frustration that comes with situations like these. A lot of anger, a lot of misunderstanding. However, in moments like this, I like to think about the first and second noble truth of Buddhism. The first states that life is suffering. The second states that suffering is caused by desire. And frankly, my current situation is a perfect example of that. It is my desire to get the painting done, which is leading to all the suffering I'm experiencing as I try to find a tradesman. Now, the solution for this is fairly simple. I could simply not get the painting done. Unfortunately, exterior wood must be covered or sealed. If not, the wind, the rain, the snow, all work together to cause the wood to rot. And I freely admit that I'm much too attached to the life I've built here to allow it to fall into decay. So I have made the choice that I'm going to get the house painted. And that means I've made the choice to accept the suffering that comes with getting the house painted. That slight change of perspective is very important. Suddenly, life isn't happening to me, rather, I've made a decision, and these are the consequences. So, since I've chosen my suffering, the next step is to choose to suffer wisely. For me, what that meant is when I was starting to feel angry and frustrated, I went on the porch, I sat for a while, and I drank some tea. That allowed me to calm my mind, to calm my body, and prepared me for the trials that will come ahead. Now, I'm sure you all, being fully enlightened, awakened Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, you don't deal with situations like this, but on the off chance that you do, I would encourage you to choose your suffering wisely. if you're suffering, trace that suffering back to the desire that's causing it. I want to get to work on time, but I keep running into traffic jams. I want this person to like me, but they don't. I want a better paying job, but I don't have one. And then decide if the suffering you're experiencing is worth attaining that desire. And if it is, fine. You know what you have to do. But if it's not, let it go. Make your life simpler, leaner, easier. Now, backing up, if we do decide the suffering is worth it, then we have to learn to suffer wisely. I know this is going to hurt. It's going to be painful. It's going to be frustrating. What are some things I can do to make my life a little bit easier as I go through these trials and tribulations? Now, that may be the traditional Buddhist practices. Perhaps we know things are going to be rocky for a while, so we need to sit on the cushion for 10 extra minutes every day. Or there's a Buddhist scripture that always makes us feel better when life is hard. So we make sure we take time to read that as we go about our day. There could also be some everyday items, some quotidian joys that we might practice to deal with our suffering. It could be drinking tea on the porch. It could be going for a walk, spending time with family and friends. Maybe you just need to call your mom. Whatever the situation is that you're going through, if you've made the decision to suffer, then choose to suffer wisely, ensuring that you use the tools available to you, using your own inner wisdom as discernment, to ensure that the suffering, while unpleasant, never becomes overwhelming. Amitabha.